We are going to do a series on picky eating. So I'm Kath Megaw, I'm a pediatric dietitian. They say that about 70 to 80% of children at some point will be picky eaters. That means that it's most likely your little toddler fits into that mix. Sometimes it starts as early as around 9 months, and it often happens at certain key places in their development. Marks a time when they are getting a lot of teeth, so their mouth starts to feel very uncomfortable, and then around 12 to 18 months your bitter taste buds start to flourish. Fruit and veggies, and particularly your green vegetables, suddenly taste a bit more bitter than what they used to taste. They start to assert their will, they want to have a say in what they eat. And so on this journey, we're going to unpack that with Dr. Jenny Rose as to how do we navigate the emotions and psychology around food. Hi, and welcome back to Let's Talk Baby. So we've had our Q&A sessions, which I'm sure you've all enjoyed and you can refer back to. We've done our wonderful weaning journey. And for those of you that are still in that weaning phase and want to go back and have a look, please go back and look at our journey that we've done with Sammy and Jenny, my two co-hosts, who are not with me today, because today I'm going to introduce our new journey and they're going to join as we go along this journey. So we are going to do a series on picky eating. So I'm Kath Megaw, I'm a pediatric dietitian. I've been in practice for over 25 years. And I've so enjoyed working with families when it comes to the area of picky eating. And the reason why I love this is that you take a family where food has become so stressful and something where they just don't think they're going to get it right, and you assist and help them to just find joy back into the feeding process. So if you are one of those families and you have tuned in and are watching, I hope that as you come on this journey with us, you will find little nuggets that you can use and apply to your space in your home environment so that food can become fun again and enjoyable again. Now, picky eating is more common than what we think. They say that about 70 to 80% of children at some point will be picky eaters. And that means that it's most likely your little toddler or your little 4-year-old fits into that mix where they are picky. And sometimes it starts as early as around 9 months. And it is quite normal, and it often happens at certain key places in their development. The transition from kind of a year, 12 to 18 months, marks a time when they are getting a lot of teeth, so their mouth starts to feel very uncomfortable. They also have a lot of taste buds on their tongue, and these taste buds suddenly shift and change. So when a baby is born, their taste buds are particularly focused around the sweet taste buds. And as they grow and as they mature, they become a little bit salty taste buds are added in. And then your more acidic taste buds are added. And then around 12 to 18 months, your bitter taste buds start to flourish. And what that means is that fruit and veggies, and particularly your green vegetables, suddenly taste a bit more bitter than what they used to taste. Particularly your green veggies, because they have those bitter oils. Most green veggies in nature, if eaten in huge quantities, so really large bucket loads of broccoli, for example, which not one of us are going to do, would be potentially poisonous. So they have those bitter oils just to tell animals, and us included, that we mustn't eat them too much in too larger quantities, and that protects their species. So what nature is using as a very innocent way to protect themselves can cause havoc in a food, in a home, in food where food is served and there's broccoli on the plates and your child was eating it and suddenly isn't because now they taste the bitterness. So I was just saying how how relevant it is and how common it is that picky eating happens. And it happens at these key points, and one of them being your taste buds. It's also when the teeth are coming because it's painful and it's sore. If any of you have had toothache and have had to eat during a bout of toothache, you're probably most likely to avoid food. And this is often what children do. So we really do want you and encourage you to manage pain during the teething space, because this will mean that they have a better chance of enjoying their food. Don't deaden their mouth to the point where they can't taste anything, because stuff is going to taste different. Also, between 18 months and 24 months, and actually 18 months to 4 years, they come across a lot of other children in their school environment. They start going to school, become more sociable. They go to little outings, little play dates, and that means they're more susceptible to picking up sickness and illness. And we know that during illness, children don't want to eat. And so when this happens, they eat less. And sometimes, if after an illness they don't have time to replenish what they didn't eat during that illness and they get sick again, it starts to become a vicious cycle, and they are always playing catch up and you never quite get on top of it. And so this can actually cause poor appetite, kind of eating lethargy where they're a bit disinterested in food. If a child is repeatedly struggling with upper respiratory tract infections, they can have a postnasal drip, which means that their food gets coated in mucus and that never tastes nice. So I would really encourage you to follow us on this journey. We're going to be speaking to pediatricians and ENTs and people that can really help and guide us as to how we are managing these sicknesses so that we can have the least fallout. And then we're also going to bring some insight. How do you keep them nourished during the sickness? What is reasonable? Because to be honest, if I had high fevers and am feeling miserable, and someone forces me to eat or keeps putting food in front of my face, I will become very irritable and a bit irrational about it, and I won't want to eat. And that's often what happens with kids. And then starts the emotional journey and the psychological journey of feeding. And talking about that, we often find that's the third element. So we've said the first one is the shift in physiology, the taste bud change and the teething. The second one is the illnesses that happen and the bugs that come across their path during this age group. And then the third element is more psychological and emotional, where they start to assert their will. They want to have a say in what they eat. And so on this journey, we're going to unpack that with Dr. Jenny Rose as to how do we navigate the emotions and a kind of psychology around food and feeding, because you are anxious wanting them to eat and they are feeling this anxiety and feeling this pressure. So how do you help both yourself and your child so that the environment can stay pleasant and calm? And maybe you've got a very fractious environment at the moment and you're wondering how you can return it into a good, safe, happy space. And we are going to bring you on this journey and show you and give you handles and tips. We want to make this a very practical, easy to follow journey. So we're going to keep our episodes within 7 to 8 minutes so that you can really take away good information. So we look forward to taking you on this journey. Remember, it's normal. 70% at least of families are navigating the picky eating journey. You are one of them. We want to help you. We are going to look at how can we support you nutritionally, how can we give good advice with regards to what's going on physiologically. And Sammy Hammond is going to jump in as our feeding therapist, and Dr. Jenny Rose is going to jump in, and we're going to have pediatricians and other really amazing healthcare professionals are going to come on board and help us navigate the picky eating journey. So we look forward to taking you along this journey and this ride with us.